Hi, welcome back to the Butter Suspension YouTube channel. Today I'm going to do a little comparison and contrast between the Rockshox Monarch Plus and the DVO Topaz. I've rebuilt tons of the Monarch Plus in my short career, and I've only rebuilt a few of the Topaz, and that has as much to do with just market share. But the first time I rebuilt the Topaz, I was kind of surprised. When I got it open, I realized how much it has in common with the Monarch Plus. So, come along with me. We're gonna take a look at this thing and see what similarities they have, and then also there's a few differences that really do set them apart, but overall it's kind of surprising how similar they are. So, to start off, the big difference between the two is the Monarch Plus uses a standard IFP to control the oil pressure and also the displacement. The Topaz uses a bladder. The main difference between those two is that the idea is the bladder doesn't have any friction built into it, so when you are starting to activate the shock, the bladder just instantly compresses and moves faster. Other than that, these shocks are almost exactly the same. So let's start with the damper shafts. I think it's pretty straightforward. These are going to be different lengths because they're different size shocks, but overall the design is effectively the same. They also both use a twin tube design, so a little tube inside a tube. They both use little white plastic bushings. Come on. I mean, that's pretty much exactly the same. They are a little different as far as the size of where the piston engages. So these aren't exactly swappable as far as the pistons. The next really obvious similarity is the rebound assembly. The Rockshox one I have in my hand is missing the knob just because I've taken it all the way apart. But just to give you an idea, these are, as far as I'm concerned, almost exactly the same. There's one difference, and it has to do with the instructions and how they tell you how to rebuild these. But DVO doesn't really give you the instructions to take this apart, but you can do it. These are the check plate and rebound flow valve. Those are exactly the same. That's pretty good similarity there. The eyelet bodies, other than shape, obviously this one's a trunnion and this one's a regular eyelet. These two are effectively the same design, down to the fact that the threads on both of these and both of these are exactly the same. You can actually take the DVO eyelet and you can take the Rockshox reservoir, that threads in. You can take the Rockshox air can, that threads in. And then the other really big obvious similarity is the compression valves. Again, other than a little bit of a size difference, these are almost exactly the same, down to the compression lockout needle, also the same. Same diameters even. These both press into each other's reservoir bodies. Exactly the same. There's going to be some technical differences which I won't really get into. The Rockshox shim stack is very different. The pistons are very different as well. And I think that's the other main big difference. That's really where they kind of have engineered the performance that they want to get out of these shocks. The question that I kind of have is, how does this happen? Because it's not like two engineers both had literally the exact same ideas and then just tweaked a couple things. I would assume that maybe somebody either said, we already have this design, let's just change it a bit. But we'll probably never know, because I can't imagine that they're just going to come right out and say, yes, these are the exact same shocks with a couple differences. Overall, I think these are both awesome shocks. They are both endlessly rebuildable. They both have really good support online, so it makes it really easy to rebuild these. Even for the home mechanic, you can get seals for both. The instructions are very clear, and I really enjoy working on both of these. So do me a favor, leave me some comments. What do you think's going on here? I think this is fascinating, that you can have two products that are effectively sold as different, but really when you take them apart, other than a couple small differences, they are quite literally the same shock. Thanks for watching.